You're listening to TNCRadio.live. Remember to tune into the Truckers Network radio show with Shelley Johnson, weekdays at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Good afternoon. Welcome to TNC Radio.live. This is the Truckers Network radio show. And now here's your host, Shelley Johnson.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Yes, this is the Truckers Network radio show on TNC Radio.live, where we offer the news, weather, traffic, information, and entertainment our drivers want and need. The first sign of spring has surely got to be truck shows. And the granddaddy of them all is coming up quickly. The Mid-America Trucking Show is at the end of March and has a terrific lineup of things to see and do for everybody. With us today to tell us what's in store for 2023 is Toby Young, Exhibit Manager for MATS. Welcome, Toby. Thank you for being on the show with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it. So how many years has MATS been going on exactly?
So this upcoming show, the 23 show, will be our 51st.
Okay, that's event. What I thought. Wow. That's been a long time. And it's really grown, hasn't it?
It has. So back in our first show was in 1972. We had at that time 98 exhibitors, under 4,000 attendees, and it basically fit inside half of one of the halls that we currently reside in.
That's a huge growth. So how many attendees do you think you're going to have this year?
Sure. So this year we're expecting over 60,000. Last year was kind of on the tail end of COVID and we hit 58,000. We're typically in that kind of 65 to 75,000 range, and everything is pointing to us having a really great turnout on the attendee side.
Excellent. Well, I know people love it. So what's going on this year for 2023 at MATS?
Sure. So we have, all the normal, lots of exhibitors. We have over 850 exhibitors encompassing over 1 million square feet of exhibit space. We have lots of events such as we have a VIP breakfast sponsored by Bosch the morning on Thursday. We have an opening reception Thursday night. We have a Friday night free concert sponsored by DAT. And then on Saturday, we have the Mack Trailer Winter Nationals. It's a truck and tractor pull taking place on site as well as the show closes on Saturday. And that's just kind of the fun events that we have planned. We have tons of educational events planned, over 40, that will help your listeners become more proficient in their jobs, more efficient in what they do every day, more profitable. Just lots of education from industry thought leaders on different ways to back office considerations, dealing with brokers, maintenance type issues, just a little bit of everything, just with the idea that we want to be the source of education and helping all of our owner-operators, drivers, small, medium fleets, help them all become more efficient in their jobs and more profitable in the business of trucking.
Is there any particular theme this year?
We don't really have a theme. It's, we always come up with little bylines here and there, nothing too major, but it's the road to is kind of the byline that we're using this year in some of our graphics and whatnot. But, it's the same great show, just different little promotional things that we do to keep it fun.
Well, it's the biggest truck show in North America, is it not?
It is. So even before COVID kind of wiped out some of the other shows like ours, we were the largest annual. And if you use that qualifier as largest and annual, I don't know that there's a larger trucking specific show in the world. To be over 1 million square feet, there's really only a small handful of shows, and none of those are specific to the heavy duty trucking industry. So that's our claim to fame.
I'm seeing that Kenworth is celebrating a 100-year anniversary at MATS. That's pretty exciting.
It is. And they're going to be showcasing some of their latest technology vehicles. I think they're going to do like a nod to the old with some of their classic antique trucks, and then a look to the future with some of the newer equipment that they're bringing to us all.
Kenny Whoppers are cool. And seeing some of the older ones, you think they'll have the first Kenworth? I bet you they have one.
I think that they have some that are from, that era. I don't know if it's the very first one. No. We've had a lot of discussions back and forth. They'll actually have like a travel trailer that's been specifically outfitted to showcase the history of Kenworth through this last 100 years. And so I know there'll be lots of really interesting photos, and it's supposed to be an interactive exhibit that you can walk through and just kind of see Kenworth over the years. So we're really excited to have that.
Drivers love that. And of course, every driver, I think, probably has his or her favorite, Kenworth or Mack or, Volvo or, Freightliner. I mean, there's so many of them, and certainly Peterbilt. People love Pete's, but I'm sure that there are going to be a lot of people wanting to see what Kenworth's got. What else do you have going on that are some highlights at MATS? Because there's so much to do. I'm sure that some people that are listening might want to kind of focus and plan their day, because it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the show, correct?
Correct. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's really not enough time to see the entirety of the show and experience all of the events. One that I didn't mention, we have our kind of annual custom truck beauty championships, the PKY Truck Championship. This year we have over 175 competitors pre-registered. That will mark the largest year that we've ever had. We've actually had to turn a dozen or more competitors away just because we're at capacity. And that's, that championship. Of course, there's lots of these custom truck shows that take place throughout the country, but this one is widely recognized as like the Super Bowl of all custom truck championships. It is the best of the best and the most custom trucks that you'll see in North America. And so it's definitely some really cool artistry. These guys truly are artists, and just some really fully customized trucks like you wouldn't believe.
It's kind of a beauty pageant for big rigs, isn't it?
It is. Some of these guys put a lot of time and effort, lots of blood, sweat, and tears, and it really shows in the pride they have in their rigs and the final product that they'll showcase to our attendees.
Oh, they go to all kinds of extents. Lots of chrome. That's always fun. I'm seeing the categories are limited dump, working, new, first show, antique custom, antique original. Wow. And from your website, it says currently over 150 competitors. That's a lot.
Yeah, so I actually hit 175 and had to shut it down. We only have so much room to park these guys. Mm-hmm. And so end of February, we had to shut it down once we hit 175. So we're really excited to see how this event has grown in the last 2 years, and just really a fan favorite.
Now that's going to be all outside. People could just wander around outside to see all of that, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's in our J lot, which is just behind the west wing of Pavilion. We have them all kind of located there in one area. So lots of really great photo opportunities. Just one of those things where you can talk to the builder, talk to the owner, look at all the things that they've customized, whether it be paint, engine, interior. We have a light show on Thursday night where all of these owners will, once dark sets in, will showcase all of the interesting lighting and effects that they have going when it's dark, and it's really a spectacle.
It's so cool. Lots of chicken lights. People like that.
Oh yeah, some of these will make you almost go blind just looking at them. There's so much light in them as they go down the road.
And do they do any horn honking at all, or?
I think there's probably a little bit of that going on. The semi horns. I think a few may even have the train horns, and certainly some of that going on as well.
That's half the fun. Oh my goodness! And then I see you've got veterans in trucking. It's going to be at MATS too. That's a terrific program.
It really is. Helping veterans transition into the heavy duty trucking industry as they're getting out of the armed forces, and so we have a lot of carriers that support these initiatives, and really these guys are heroes, and so giving them gainful employment in the trucking industry is something that we should all strive for. And so we've got a really cool lineup set up of those carriers. We've got Rees Across America, and I think we have maybe 10 or 12 of these trucks where the carriers actually wrap them in armed forces themes. Mm-hmm. And so it's really neat to see what they've done, and they actually award these trucks to veterans that come on board and work for them, and so they get to drive these trucks every day and kind of if they love the Marine Corps or the Army, and they're driving these vehicles down the road and they're in those military themes, and they'll be on display at the show. I think, again, it's like 10 or 12 of them, and attendees can actually vote for the one that they like the best, and we're going to award them with a People's Choice Award.
That's wonderful. It's a wonderful tribute to our veterans, too. This is wonderful. And it creates awareness going down the road, which everybody needs. And this is terrific that Matt's features them, too.
Yeah, it's something we're very proud to host as part of our show. This is actually the second year that we're doing it. The first year it was a big hit, and so this year we made some tweaks to make it better and to make it that much more enjoyable, and to really try to do even more to recognize these veterans that mean so much to us.
That's wonderful. We do have to go to break here, Toby. We're talking with Toby Young. He's the exhibit manager for Matt's Mid-America Trucking Show. That's coming up at the end of March. Everybody needs to check this out. It's going to be a great show this year. You're listening to the Truckers Network radio show here on TNCRadio.live. Stay tuned for more coming up. Space in a semi-truck is limited. A majority of truck drivers spend a good portion of their careers living on the road. Trying to fit all the necessary home items, personal products, work documents, and food in a tiny truck cab can be a challenge. Staying organized on the road helps you stay more productive and comfortable. It also helps to be organized in the event of a DOT inspection. The Truckers Network has 5 helpful organization tips for truck drivers. Storage containers. Storage containers are inexpensive and come in a variety of different sizes. Depending on the size, you can fit a storage container in many different places. Make sure to measure the container before buying to ensure you maximize your space. You'll want to use every bit of your cab. Some items you can put in the containers include canned or dry food, water, cleaning supplies, exercise equipment, and toiletries. Some of our recommended storage containers include Iris USA TB42 12-quart stack and pull box, Itemy 6-pack plastic storage baskets, weight trim foldable shoe box. Command hooks. Command hooks are a great way to maximize your space and keep things off the floor. Install a couple command hooks and you can hang your everyday coat, hat, or bag. Here's a pro tip. Use Velcro to attach to containers or different items so they don't slide around while driving on bumpy roads. Some of our recommended command hooks include Command small wire hooks, 16 hooks, 24 strips, Photo Snow adhesive hooks, ultra strong wall hangers and hooks, Budding Joy adhesive heavy-duty hooks, over-the-door shoe organizer. An over-the-door shoe organizer is great for keeping your closet and your truck cab organized. Instead of storing shoes, store your cleaning supplies, personal items, and some clothes. Check out our recommended shoe organizers. 24 pockets, simple housewear crystal clear over-the-door hanging shoe organizer. Aristocrat Homeware's over-the-door shoe rack and closet organizer system with 24 extra-large heavy-duty pockets. Shower caddies. Truck stop showers are a place you'll often be. Having a shower caddy full of your shower routine necessities will help ensure you have everything you need. Forgetting your toiletries will have you buying some at the truck stop or running back out to your truck. Shower caddies are also great for holding condiments, drinks, and dinnerware. Some of our recommended shower caddies include Greenbrier Small Utility Shower Caddy Tote, 7-pocket Shower Caddy Tote. Labels. Because there's limited space in a semi-cab, most of your things will be in containers. Investing in a label maker is a great way to organize your storage containers and drawers. It also makes it easy to find what you need. Check out some of our recommended labels and label makers. They include Dymo Letratag 100H Plus handheld label maker, address labels 2.625 by 1 pack of 3,000 labels.
Hey, this is the Road Hammers. You're listening to TNCRadio.live.
Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly, and we're talking with Toby Young, the exhibit manager for Matt's, the Mid-America Trucking Show. Toby, you've got some great entertainment at the show this year, along with various celebrities. Who all's going to be there?
It's hard to cover everyone that'll be there, but I can tell you, I know that Richard Petty will be there. I think Clean Harbors is hosting him for a couple of days of the year. We got Tony Justice. I know he'll be in several booths, and he's actually opening for our our Friday night free concert sponsored by DAT for LV Shane. And so that's all of our attendees can visit the DAT booth and get a free ticket to that show. Lots of other celebrities that we've had. You see some NASCAR folks. There's a few kind of interesting things that I know are happening on the show floor with some celebrities. I think maybe some arm wrestling celebrities. I know that International Used Trucks is going to have some, kind of a throwback to, if you'll remember the movie Over the Top. They're going to have some arm wrestlers and kind of a little stage set up where you can arm wrestle some of these pros and some different folks in their booth. Lots of country music singers, stars, entertainers, all the folks that we love. There'll be a bunch of them there in the show. Some that we're not even aware of. Sometimes these companies like to keep it a surprise. And so we encourage all attendees to come to the show just to check everybody out and to see who else there.
Very cool. When I was a little girl, up until the age of 12, I actually arm wrestled and I beat all the boys.
I was probably one of those boys you were beating. I was never very good at that.
So, Tom, you said you had a question for Toby.
Hey, Toby, Tom Kelly here. Thanks so much for being with us today. Toby, let's see, how many days out now? Just, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks from Thursday.
2 weeks and a couple of hours. Are you tired yet?
I've been tired for a long time. I'm not going to complain to your audience. I know they work hard, but I've been 60 hours a week since Thanksgiving trying to put the finishing touches on the show. So it's just that time.
Yeah, sure. And this is about the point where you're thinking, why did I ever sign up for this?
Oh, I've been thinking about that for months. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Once I get through the next week or so, it definitely starts calming down some. And I say it's the calm before the storm, because if you haven't developed your itinerary and made your plans, at that point it's too late. You just got to come anyway. So
right.
It's going to happen whether we plan for it or not.
That's right. And how long have you been involved in the truck show?
Sure. So my history, so my grandfather actually started the show back in 1972. So I'm third generation. It has employed my grandfather, father, uncle, my brother, aunts, uncles, just everybody throughout the years. But I'm kind of the last remaining young involved in the show. I've been doing it full time since 2001 and have worked every show since I was 13 years old.
Wow. Was your grandfather a driver?
No, he was. So my grandfather, Paul Young, he was a lobbyist for the Kentucky Trucking Association. Okay. He was a tire salesman in Somerset, Kentucky, and then kind of transitioned into being the event manager for Matt's. As they started developing the show and realized that, hey, we're on to something. This is in a good location and getting a nice following. He transferred to this full time.
Very cool.
Wow. Do you have kids that you're going to pass this on to?
I don't know. I have kids. I have 3 girls. They kind of have their own interests, and I don't know that trucking or trade shows is in the mix for them.
Come on. It's the family business. You've got to.
That's right.
Well, to be candid, this was not my career trajectory either. I went to college for chemistry, and I have a degree in chemical engineering.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
And,
very cool.
So I don't really apply that very much these days.
Yeah.
But it's something I love. I love dealing with the people we get to deal with every day. Love the trucking industry. Love the folks that we come in contact with, and just love doing something that's so important to so many people. And so I kind of feel like it was my calling, and took an interesting career path, but here I am, and I've been doing it full time for the last 21 years.
That's amazing, Toby. It really is.
Yeah, it really is.
Go ahead, Shelley.
Being a chemical engineer, you can at least talk fuel and things like that.
For sure, in chemistry, and understand some of the terms. Yeah, sure. We've had in some of our education sessions, we've had engineers that speak to on a molecular level what's going on and some of the additives and things like that. And so I can certainly talk with them to some degree, but it's been a long time since chemistry and chemical engineering were on my day-to-day grind. So it's I don't know, it's just interesting to talk about a little bit.
This is an interesting history. I didn't know this about Mats. This is very cool.
Toby, at this point, being 2 weeks out, like you said, it's coming. It's coming. But then again, there's all these things that are happening in the world right now. Wars and bank meltdowns and all this kind of stuff. What scares you? I mean, we had COVID drop on us out of nowhere, a few years back. What makes you nervous about that kind of stuff, and under what circumstances would you go, oh, we got a big problem here?
So if you would ask me this question 2 years ago, I don't know that I would have seen, anything that would make me nervous.
Right.
I've been through power outages, half-day blackouts. We've seen, a foot of snow the day before the show, flooding. We've seen it rain inside the facility. We've seen picketing, just a little bit of everything. And, we persevere and move on. The COVID outbreak was, probably my worst nightmare, really.
Yeah, sure.
Something that would shut down not just our show, but, March 12th, 2020 is the day that we canceled our 2020 show.
Yeah.
A day that I never thought would take place. But once we canceled it, then NCAA and, other major events were canceling and dropping left and right. It was just a crazy time to be in, big public events like we are.
Sure. Everybody went into hiding. It was just very bizarre. It was something out of the Twilight Zone, frankly.
I think the easiest way to put it was my nightmare. We still wanted the show to go on, but weren't really allowed to do it. And, in hindsight, it was probably the right thing to do. We're coming back. The 22 show was a strong show for us. This show will be a better show. And, hopefully once we make our way out of some of the macroeconomic stuff and get through some of the other concerns with banking and war and everything else, hopefully the show continues to improve, and we just keep the annual show moving forward, and we can make it to 60 or 70 or 75, and then hopefully I'm looking at retirement by then.
Well, Toby, there's probably the number one reason people should be going to the show is because all the stuff that's going on right now, lots of educational opportunities for people to figure out how to weather the next storm.
Sure. Yep.
Absolutely. So this is probably the component of the show that we're pushing the hardest these days, is just to educate our audience on, first off, there's so many people out there that are willing to talk, highlight their expertise, talk about their experiences, tell you where they've been, talk about the problems that they've been through and how they've overcome them. And so, I think that this is really how our education can help the trucking industry at large. Is we're leaning on a lot of folks that have 20, 30 years experience, folks that have gone from one truck to 10 or 10 trucks to 100,
right? And
they're willing to share their knowledge, their experience, their expertise with the entire industry. And there's no cost to any of this education. It's all meant to just help us all rise above, help us all to improve our day-to-day, become more efficient, profitable, and just have a better life in trucking. And so we've pulled this program together. It's now in its third year, and it keeps growing. The demand for it keeps growing. We're at 2 stages now. We have over 40 education sessions, and from some really high-level folks. And you get direct access to them. And so some of these fleets will be putting on some education sessions. We have FMCSA that's putting on their listening session during the show to solicit direct feedback from our audience, and to hear about their struggles and to hear about their complaints with brokers and double brokers. And we have some fleets that are giving some education on how to eliminate double brokerage and address security and concerns and all this type of stuff. I think we have 44 education sessions, and really there's something for everyone. And again, it's all free. It's I feel like if you're in the business of trucking, that you should come to trucking's largest event to learn.
Yeah, and that's huge. I wanted to kind of maybe touch on some of the seminars that you're going to be having, these educational sessions, because this is so important in the fact that, people can Just go in there, no cost, and learn something that's going to help the trucking industry. That's just tremendous. We do have to go to break here. You're listening to the Truckers Network radio show here on TNCRadio.live. We're talking with Toby Young, exhibit manager for the Mid-America Trucking Show. Stay tuned for more coming up.
This blog on TNCRadio.live is brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. Health tips every trucker should follow. When you live your life on the road, it can be very easy to fall into an unhealthy lifestyle. This is the case when it comes to most truck drivers. Being on the road for weeks at a time can take a toll on one's health. The lack of exercise, sleep, and access to a balanced diet are all common health hazards for truckers. Taking care of your health is not only important for your well-being, it's also important for a successful career in the trucking industry. Here's some tips every trucker should take into consideration while traveling on the road. Eat healthy. Although it may be more convenient to eat fast food or grab something quick at a gas station, try stopping at a grocery store and picking up some fresh fruits and veggies. Some other healthy options are protein bars, dried fruits, nuts, and make sure to drink plenty of water. If your truck has an auxiliary power unit or power inverter, look into getting a portable stove, crock pot, or microwave. This will make eating healthy much easier, and it also helps save money. Be sure to be aware of your company's policies for cooking in your truck. Exercise. Finding the time to exercise can be quite a challenge when you spend 10 or more hours a day driving. Finding a little time to exercise each day can improve your physical and mental health. Walking, running, pack some running shoes and take a 30-minute walk or jog each day. It's an inexpensive option for exercising. Work out in your cabin. Setting up a workout routine to do in your cabin is a convenient way to keep yourself healthy. You don't even need workout equipment. Find time to implement these workouts in your daily routine. Push-ups, planks, sit-ups, tricep dips, stretching. Stretching can help avoid back pain. It's important for truckers to make stretching a part of their daily workout routine. Back bends, front bends, side bends, neck stretch. Sleep. Getting a good night's sleep is essential for good health. Driving can become dangerous if you're not getting an appropriate amount of sleep. Studies say that most healthy adults need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep each night. Follow these steps to a happier and healthier sleep lifestyle. Stick to a sleep schedule. Sleep on a comfortable mattress and pillow. Avoid alcohol and caffeine close to bedtime. Turn off all electronics before bed. Mind. Taking care of your mental health should be as important to your physical health. Truck driving can be boring. Keep your mind alert and fresh by listening to music while driving or TNCRadio.live. This blog on TNCRadio.live was brought to you by the Truckers Network at app.thetruckersnetwork.net. Hello, I'm Ron Samuels. I put it in reverse gear here Monday through Thursday nights at 10, 9 Central on TNCRadio.live. Do you believe in the power of prayer? Whether you're moving down the highway or taking a break, now's a good time to take a moment to tell God your hopes, concerns, and gratitude. You want someone to pray with? No problem. Just call the TFC Global 24-Hour Prayer Line. It's 866-515-9406. By the way, if you're using the TNCRadio.live app, just press the prayer line button to be connected to a prayer warrior who will confidentially pray with and for you. The number again, 866-515-9406, or tap the prayer line button at the TNCRadio.live app.
Welcome back to the Truckers Network radio show on TNCRadio.live. I'm Shelley Johnson with Tom Kelly, and we're talking with Toby Young, exhibit manager for the Mid-America Trucking Show, or MATS. Toby, you've got some great stuff this year, no doubt about it. Before we went to break, you were talking a little bit about the free educational sessions that are at MATS this year, and I kind of wanted to go through some of them. You said FMCSA is going to have a session on Thursday. That looks like that's the first one at noon, right?
Yeah, so starting Thursday at noon, FMCSA is hosting. I think they've done this big driver study and want to just talk a little bit about it, release their findings, and then have some direct interaction with drivers to get updates and their thoughts on it.
Terrific. And then another one going on about 12:15, I guess. Implementing technology to reduce distracted driving and maintain privacy. What's that one about?
Sure. So, Safe Fleet, which is a big company here in the industry, um, they've basically they're trying to help us all with the distracted driving, which is something we all deal with these days. But unleashing some of their findings, and then to talk about how they have some technologies and different things that they've employed to help reduce the amount of distracted driving, but also make it so that it's not, from a privacy standpoint and things like that, to make sure that it's, not, so negative for the drivers. And so that's another one that we got going on.
That'll be huge. And another one, planning for the future of fleets. I know there's a lot of speculation on what's going on, EVs, everything else. Where is the industry headed? This is going to be a good seminar too.
Yeah, good one, talking about the future of fleets and, the roadmap according to Autel Energy. And then they're a company that provides charging infrastructure. And so, we hear a lot of folks talking about, can we transition to electric? Well, we don't have the grid to support it, and we don't have the charging infrastructure to support it. And so they're just helping everyone to prepare and want to start the conversations around that. And so another great one to have.
I'm seeing another one here, how to use data or leverage data to build a safer, more profitable fleet. Everybody wants to make money. That sounds like this could be a really good one. That's a winner.
Yeah, so you'll find that a lot of the sessions that we have, and it's one of those words that you just hear all the time, data, data, data. And so a lot of the sessions that we have will focus on data that's been collected and then analyzing it to help us all make decisions. And so, so many millions of miles of data have been collected. And so these companies will be sharing that with us and then offering their recommendations on how we should carry ourselves as drivers or small fleets. And so this is another one that'll focus on that.
There's another one that's pretty amazing. I think a lot of drivers will be checking this one out. 3 truck drivers achieving 10 plus miles per gallon.
Yeah, so this is a really cool one. There's been some articles written about this here in recent history. The North American Council for Freight Efficiency, they basically have teamed up with some drivers drivers with long histories, well-seasoned drivers that are implementing different techniques, and they're achieving 10 plus miles per gallon. And this is like an audited thing. They've got this program where they're monitoring these drivers and they're hitting 10 plus miles per gallon. And with fuel prices where they are, obviously no one can turn their nose up at that. That's a huge deal.
Sure. And I'm seeing that you've got some experts on how to expand your fleet, like getting to 100 trucks. How I did it, you can too. Lots of different things, even topics like how to reduce driver turnover and leverage your ELD system.
Yeah, so lots of individuals and companies that have basically been there, done that. They've gone there where, a driver that's listening to your show now was 5 years ago, and they've leveraged their knowledge, network, connections, and grown their business. And so there'll be a lot of folks there that are putting on this education, and they can just talk about what they've done to grow from X to Y, or how they achieved this long sought goal that they had. And so, again, I've kind of always lived by the mantra, I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to be in a room with people that are much smarter than I am so that I can learn from them. And so here at MATS, with these education sessions, you can sit in a room with some of these, medium, even large fleets, and have a real conversation with them. And these folks are lending their time to us to put on these sessions. It's great for building your network and having a contact. We talked a little bit over the break about, how MATS is a social thing where we all kind of come back together and get to see friends and family that we haven't seen in a while. It's a great time to make new contacts for your business that, can help you grow or help you overcome some of the pain points that you may have experienced in the last few years. Absolutely.
And I'm seeing technology is a real hot topic, I think, this year. For Friday, you're talking about blockchain and how to use technology to increase profitability and save hours during the work week. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, lots of technology. I think data and technology are just two aspects that you'll see covered ad nauseum throughout all these sessions that we have. And that's the world we live in. And so we definitely want to better understand the technology that we're seeing today and even coming down the pike in the near future. And this is a great place. That's really Matt's main claim to fame, is that you can get hands-on and demo all of this technology, the apps that you might use every day, talk to your insurance provider, talk to the company that provided your truck or tires or trailers. You get to see the people behind the products. And that's why Matt's is so important as kind of a one-stop shop. All these products you use every day, the people who made them are at the show. And so talk to them and talk about your pain points. It can help them make the products better and help you learn how to use them better.
That's half the fun of these shows. You get to try it. Try it out.
I'm sure that everyone is, I know I am. I want to see it, touch it, feel it, demo it. That's what trade shows are about. Is come to the show and you can experience it before you make your purchase. And that's really important.
You can be a big kid. It's kind of like being a kid again, trying stuff out like that.
100%.
I'm also seeing a topic in one of your sessions, how synthetic oils and other lubricants can help improve fuel economy and reduce costs. That's huge.
Yep, I guess that's another one that'll be focused on a lot, is just trying to gain efficiencies in fuel, efficiencies in maintenance, just different practices and procedures that can help you go longer, avoid those breakdowns, things like that, preventive maintenance and whatnot. It will be talked about in our sessions and as well on the show floor.
There's an interesting topic here. I'm seeing the rise of collaborative trucking. So
this is a really, really good one. The idea, and it's that kind of social networking and making contacts and working together. You see it a lot these days with companies that provide products to us. Well, even at the base level of trucking and drivers and brokers and carriers, developing those partnerships, how important it is to, a rising tide raises all ships. If you can latch your hitch to someone who is up and coming, then that only makes your business more profitable. And that's what they'll be talking about during their session.
Which is terrific. So just about every kind of topic you can imagine that's important to trucking and the future of trucking, people can have some takeaways that can make things a lot more successful. They can really maybe get a better focus on where they need to head.
Absolutely. That's, you always, I think everyone should take the idea to heart. We always want to be learning. That's the only way that you can get better, right? And so Matt's is a great place to just learn from others and build up your network and have some fun in the process as well.
And then Saturday night, there's a big event after all of the different educational sessions and everybody's worn themselves out completely, walking all over the place. They can check out that Saturday night event. What event is that?
Sure. So we have the Mac Trailer Winter Nationals. It's a truck and tractor pulling event that takes place on site inside Freedom Hall, which this is kind of interesting for those that wanted some insights into my job. So on Friday night, we have our concert, and then it has to be torn out, like starting at 11 o'clock at night, so they can put down like 18 inches of dirt and get the dirt all prepped so that they can do this truck and tractor pull, less than like 18 hours later. So they have to turn that facility around really quickly so that they can put on this truck and tractor pull that we'll all come out and enjoy.
That would be amazing.
How many dump trucks of dirt would that take?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know that looking at my schedule, it starts at 2 a.m. So they get everything cleaned out from the concert, and then at 2 a.m. they start hauling the dirt in. And,
Okay, well, I'll have Tom Kirk stay up all night and count trucks for us.
I know it's 18 inches deep, and I know that the floor in Freedom Hall, I want to say, is like 15,000 square feet. So I think you could probably do some math there.
Okay, 15,000 square feet, 18 carry the one. Okay, I'll work on that and get back to you.
But it's suffice it to say, there's all hands on deck. They'll have just this assembly line of dump trucks that are bringing the dirt in, dumping it, and then there'll be the heavy equipment that's smoothing it out, and then they'll start with the watering it. There's a science to this to make it so that it's the proper surface for these crazy powerful trucks and trailers, or trucks and tractors, to be able to pull that heavy sled.
Absolutely. So Toby, where can people get tickets? What are the logistics here? If people want to arrive, when is the show starting? Where do they park? All of the above.
Sure. So the starting point for all of that is our website, truckingshow.com. If you go there, you'll see some very easy to find links to registering. You want to register for MATS first so that you have your badge, good for all 3 days. For purchasing tickets for the truck and tractor pool, directions on where to get tickets for the DAT concert, information on our VIP breakfast, our opening reception. You can go through and see our floor plan. You can start developing your itinerary of all the education sessions that you want to attend. Go through and start putting together your list of exhibitors that you want to visit with. So everything starts at truckingshow.com. Put together your plan for the day or days or 3 days. Wear comfortable walking shoes, and we hope to see you at the show. Excellent. And probably bring a good pair of walking shoes, right? 100%. I tell people this as the show manager. I'll have a little Fitbit device, and my record is 27,000 steps in a day. Woo! That's quite a few. Hard on the knees and back, but something I love to do. Great for the cardiovascular system, for sure. You got it. Well, this has been fun, Toby. I really appreciate you being on the show and telling us about MATS. It sounds like it's going to be a great year. And if people don't go, they're going to really be mad at themselves for not showing up. Yeah, don't have that FOMO. Get to the show and reconnect with the industry, have some fun in the process, and get better at your business. Sounds terrific.
All right, so I did a little calculation here for you, Toby, in case anybody asks.
All right.
All right, there's 15,000 square feet, 18 inches deep, would be 833 cubic yards. And an average dump truck carries about 10 to 15 cubic yards. So the answer is lots of trucks.
70 to 80 dump truck pools.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. How about that?
It's pretty interesting.
That's amazing.
I hope my numbers are right. That seems like a lot, but I know that they work their butts off.
Yeah.
They get started at 2 a.m. and by 6 a.m. they're finished, and they're just trying to put the finishing touches on it. So it's interesting.
Too bad they can't do that with freeways and stuff. They have them done in hours instead of months and years, right?
I'd say moving dirt's probably a little easier than paving and all the other stuff they got to do.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you being on the show, Toby. We've been talking with Toby Young. He's the exhibit manager for MATS, the Mid-America Trucking Show. That's coming up at the end of the month, so definitely check out their website. You've been listening to the Truckers Network radio show here on tncradio.live. Stay tuned for more great entertainment. We've got a great primetime lineup coming up this evening, so stay tuned right here on tncradio.live. Thank you for listening to another great interview on tncradio.live and the Truckers Network radio show. All of the material you hear on tncradio.live on our website, our broadcasts, or our podcasts are copyrighted. There can be no distribution without the express consent of tncradio.live and its partners. For inquiries, write us at info@tncradio.live. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast of the Truckers Network radio show.